Alright everyone, welcome back to episode 2 of Meditate with Massey. How about we get started? Let's look at Psalm 2. Grab your Bibles, let's have a read. Psalm 2. Why do the nations conspire and the peoples plot in vain? The kings of the earth rise up and the rulers band together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their chains and throw off their shackles. The one enthroned in heaven laughs, the Lord scoffs at them. He rebukes them in his anger and terrifies them in his wrath, saying, I have installed my king on Zion, my holy mountain. I will proclaim the Lord's decree. He said to me, you are my son, today I have become your father. Ask me, and I will make the nations your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possession. You will break them with a rod of iron, you will dash them to pieces like pottery. Therefore, you kings, be wise, be warned, you rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and celebrate his rule with trembling. Kiss his son, or he will be angry, and your way will lead to your destruction. For his wrath can flare up in a moment. Blessed are all who take refuge in him. Alright, so the first thing that I note as we're reading through Psalm 2 is that God isn't all rainbows and lollipops. Sometimes you sort of hear one of two stories generally when people talk to you about God. That you hear the great loving and light fluffy marshmallow clouds of God and how much he loves everyone, how much he cares, and how much, or you either sort of hear like the other spectrum of how much God hates people and how much power and just destruction he can cause. And I think in Psalm 2 we kind of get a glimpse of this power and destruction that God has. And it's really interesting to note, particularly in verse 12, where it talks about, for his wrath can flare up in a moment. I find that fascinating, a God who both loves and cares for us can also get angry at us. And so he has great power. And the other interesting thing that I find in Psalm 2 is in verses 7 to 8. So verses 7 to 8 it says, I will proclaim the Lord's decree. He said to me, you are my son, today I have become your father. Ask me and I will make the nations your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possession. And so we get an idea of this wrath and power that God has, but we also get this glimpse into this relational aspect of God, and that he actually wants to get to know us, and he has a love for us. Well, that wraps up another episode of Meditate with Massey. I hope you enjoyed Psalm 2. I know I did. We can see in Psalm 2 that we're now getting this idea of who God is. He's got a personality. He does get angry, but in the other side is that he does want a relationship with us. We can see that where it calls, you are my son, I am now your father. So we've got this God that is so powerful and can be so destructive, but instead of constantly just being destructive, he's actually seeking out a relationship with us and seeking out love with us. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Feel free again to leave comments below. I'd love to have a chat with you guys down there. Otherwise, I love you guys and God bless.